Hello, good morning, welcome to the weekend. Hope you're doing alright, hope you're keeping safe, hope you're keeping sane. Now, I'm going to confess I'm very, very late to the party when it comes to the topic I'm talking about today, but just sort of wanted to touch upon it because, the main reason I'm actually talking about this at all is because I have a teenage stepdaughter, so influencer culture, and actually this lady, Molly-Mae in particular, has actually become a mainstay of my life, for better or for worse, over the last few years. And I want to sort of just talk about very quickly my opinions on the drama and what I would suggest is actually become a bit of a witch hunt about this particular woman. Now, in case you don't know who Molly-Mae is, and I get the feeling that if I wasn't, again, like I say, the stepdad to a teenage girl, I probably wouldn't have a clue either. She is what they call an influencer, which from what I can deduce means she takes an absolute ton of photos of herself, and she's quite attractive, and then people give her money to promote their stuff. And that does seem to be the almost beginning, middle, and end of the influencer economy, as I'm going to now proceed to call it. And she went on a podcast or did an interview, and she basically made some sort of ill thought out, and to be fair, not even her own comments. She was literally sort of repeating verbatim something that had been said about someone else in the past. And she said, well, I've got the same 24 hours in my day as everyone else. Basically implying that if people aren't as successful as her, and I'm going to use the word successful in air quotes here, because I guess it all depends on your measure of worth, then somehow you haven't worked hard enough. And everyone who, wasn't as successful as her, wasn't earning as much money as her, didn't have as big a profile as her, simply wasn't putting in the effort. And that was kind of what was deduced from, like I say, her words, which, as I pointed out previously, weren't actually her words at all. She was just repeating verbatim something she probably heard before and thought sounded quite clever and thought might actually give her a little bit of an edge when it comes to being on this podcast, because I can't imagine being an influencer, there's a huge amount to talk about. Anywho, this blew up and everyone jumped on, bailed on her, and sort of said, oh, she's so out of touch, she's insulting to hard-working people, and all the rest of it. And basically people called to have her, and I hate to use the word, but cancelled. And there's this big pile on, and she's been in the mainstream media as well. And I think the reason being, right, I will say that I am no fan of Molly-Mae, and the reason I'm no massive fan of Molly-Mae is because I can't actually find a reason to be a fan of her. And this might actually lead on to my issue with influencers. When I was younger, probably when a lot of people who were watching this were younger, we were fans of people. I mean, I was fans of like hip-hop stars and certain actors and whatever. But you were fans of them because you liked their music or you liked their films or, whatever. But the reason I can't be a fan of Molly-Mae is because I can't actually determine what she does. And this is the problem. This is where the pile-on comes from. It's because people like myself and a vast swathe of the British and probably worldwide population really have an intense dislike, bordering on hatred, for the influencer economy, for influencer culture. It is seen as something that has precisely zero value. In fact, it has negative value because in many ways, this promotion of either unhealthy body image or unattainable beauty standards through filters and photoshopping and all the rest of it, or promotion of an unobtainable, or at least unobtainable through the channels they promote, lifestyle. I mean, we see these influencers with, all designer clothes and Lamborghinis and all the rest of it through just taking selfies of themselves, obviously. We see this and this promotion, and it is, I believe, potentially very harmful to young people who believe that they don't actually have to strive and work hard and build a career and do all the rest of it. They can literally become successful, famous, wealthy, and all the rest of it purely through basic narcissism. And I do think this is harmful. And like I say, being the stepdad of a teenage girl, me and her mum try and sort of steer her away from this notion and say, look, if you want to be on Instagram, you want to go on Facebook, whatever, if you want to post the occasional photo of yourself, and obviously the right kind of photo of yourself, if you know what I mean, then that's fine. But this is not a career. This is not an aspirational thing. Do it for fun. Do it to show your friends where you've gone, show your friends where, you've been on holiday or if we took her out for dinner or whatever, Use it for that, but also strive for a proper career, focused on your studies and all the rest of it, right? All the parental stuff that you come out with. And I think it is this adult, grown-up disdain for influencer culture and, like I say, the influencer economy, all the money that surrounds these people who do nothing or add very little in terms of value to any of the arts or culture or anything, that causes the pile on to people like Molly-Mae. What she said was dumb. It was ill thought out. In fact, it wasn't thought out at all. It was just repeated parrot fashion, right? But the reason the pile on occurred is because it was a window. It was a crack in the facade, and it was a way in for people who, like myself, but also who are slightly more vindictive than myself and who actually want to go after people rather than just ranting about them on some random YouTube video, to go in and attack her as a figurehead of this culture that they so despise. What she said was dumb, and if someone else in the public eye, a singer or an actor or someone who has created something and has value added rather than just purely, taking selfies and posing on beaches and all the rest of it, if someone else had said it, it probably would have been brushed under the carpet, ignored, kind of people would roll their eyes a little bit and go, oh, what a stupid thing to say, and move on. But because Molly-Mae has made herself this figurehead, this, glowing representation of a whole culture, a whole economy, which so many people have such feelings about, such strong border on hatred for, she became the target of this witch hunt, which I don't think is right. I think that if I was 20 years younger, slimmer, female, better looking, big boobs, well, I've got those, but anyway, that's by the by, right? Then, yeah, okay, maybe I might have tried to make a go of being an influencer. Because let's face it, who wouldn't want that lifestyle? Who wouldn't want to get free holidays, free clothes, free cars, a whole bloody lot of it, just in exchange of taking a few photos? I don't blame the influencers. I blame the culture that perpetuates this. I blame the social media platforms that promote this. And I blame the mainstream as well, media, for putting these people onto pedestals to knock them down when they do or say something stupid, which they inevitably will do, because we all do. I say and do stupid things all the time. The difference is nobody cares. I don't think, as far as I'm aware, there's a witch hunt about me. No one's after me, trying to cancel me, because, well, nobody cares about me. I don't have the platform. That I haven't been built up to be a representation for a whole generation and a whole kind of people. I am just Phil. That's all I am. But she is Molly-Mae, figurehead of influencer culture, influencer lifestyle, promoter of bad taste clothing and all the rest of it. And so we are very, very willing to set these people up to knock them down. And would it be great to see an end of influencer culture? Of course it would, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. And bullying individuals who may not be prepared for this backlash, see Love Island for many examples, may be doing a lot more harm than good. The best we can do is push on and try and do good things in society, good things to actually enhance and embrace better cultures, educate our young people against the dangers and the vacuous, shallow, surface level nature of social media and of influencer lifestyles, and just make the world a better place in that way. Stay safe and stay sane. All the best.